Hello, everybody. It's Saturday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern. And, fellas, this is episode 40, which means it's a very special episode. And this is kind of an unprecedented episode. I think this could be one of those episodes you look back at in, maybe 10, 15 years and be like, wow, this is a pretty interesting day for our country. And this may or may not be, not your typical Cash Flow Kings episode. Obviously, we're still going to cover some of the juicy topics, but it's pretty crazy stuff that's going on in the country right now, Fiscal, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I literally just found out like 10 minutes ago. So that's when did it happen?
It happened like an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. It's
I
Saturday,
was,
8 p.m. Eastern.
I was watching Netflix, and so I
Gotta respect it.
Yeah.
Fiscal is disconnected from the world, everybody. You can appreciate a man like that. But in all seriousness, everybody, welcome in. It's Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. On Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, you could be doing a whole lot of things right now. You could
be watching SWAT on Netflix like I was, which that's kind of ironic considering what happened. You could be out there doing the clubs, drinking your vodkas and your tequilas, hooking up with girls named Courtney.
That's going to be very specific to somebody, and that's going to be very real for somebody.
I know.
A little weird. Some guy's going to have a girlfriend named Courtney that's watching this. We apologize, everybody.
Sorry to Courtney and her boyfriend, I guess.
Nothing personal here on the Cash Flow Kings, but welcome in. Yeah, everybody, this is a bit of an unprecedented kind of video that we're doing here, an unprecedented show. Unfortunately, our Twitter account, it's not working because we apparently have to pay Elon now to stream on Twitter. So I guess that's something we got to get on or get off of, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I didn't plan for this to be an entire show based around Trump getting shot. The actual original topic we were going to do today, will the stock market will be better under Trump or Biden? We were going to kind of share our thoughts.
It's crazy that happened on the day we were going to do that specific topic.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's actually kind of scary, like ridiculous how that is. We'll still cover that, but kind of crazy stuff right now, guys. From what I understand, I've been doing my little due diligence on this. There were two shooters. One of them's dead. One of them's in fatal condition, probably going to die. From what I heard, like the gunshots of it, it sounded like a suppressed gun. It didn't even sound like an actual gunshot, so it was probably suppressed. And it grazed Trump's ear, but that's about it. People are saying neck, but I think he would have already been dead. And according to spokesmanship from Trump, he's fine. So
I'm going to make some predictions about the suspects or whatever you want to call them.
Oh, I was going to say,
they're probably didn't grow up in Wisconsin because
Pennsylvania.
They'd be, if they grew up in, well, I know that it happened in Pennsylvania, but I'm saying they didn't grow up in Wisconsin. They're not from Wisconsin. They're probably not from any southern state. They're not from Texas or Arizona either, most likely.
They missed pretty bad, I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it. They're not very good. is where I was going with it. Yeah. They lack a certain particular set of skills, as Liam Neeson in Taken might say.
They had a once in a lifetime opportunity too. They missed. They fumbled it.
That's a way of saying it. Yeah. They
definitely.
If anybody watched The Wire out there, they say something. You come at the king, you best not miss, and
they missed pretty bad.
Yeah.
So did you see the clip of him like firing up the crowd after?
Yeah.
That was hilarious. That was the most life I've ever seen out of him or Biden or like any. Like that was like the first time
not bad.
Real.
Not bad for a guy in his 70s, right?
You almost wonder if this were Biden, what would it be like?
I think he probably wouldn't even have realized it happened. Like, to be honest with you, he'd just be confused. Just default setting for him these days.
You gotta love just watching Joe on stage. That's actually part of the reason that we were doing this episode is because Biden this week. Yeah, he had a few blunders on the mic. Let's just say he isn't doing the Cash Flow Kings every Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. His skills aren't that good.
What's really funny about Joe Biden is before he got really, really old, like back in the day, 10 plus years ago, he was known for always like blurting out the wrong stuff. Like they called them gaffes. He was known for his gaffes.
Yeah.
And
You're
it's
a
like,
lying two-faced doggy pony soldier.
so I think that really what what's happening as his mind deteriorates is it's just amplifying his tendency to say the wrong thing or to stumble over his own words really
Yeah.
bad. Yeah. It's sort of like if you're drunk, it doesn't change fundamentally who you are as a person,
Yeah.
but it amplifies the negative
Yeah.
thing. Dementia does the same thing, I guess. Or
I think
Alzheimer's or
dementia change.
whatever.
I think dementia changes you as a person because you don't really even know who like your family is if the dementia like develops and gets bad. That's what I'd be worried about for Biden.
Sure. But any kind of negative attributes that you have, or like annoying tendencies, bad tendencies,
Yeah.
or the bad side of you, it makes it come out more. Like if you have like a mean streak, I've heard that people who have dementia will like any mean thought that crosses their mind, it's just coming right on out, and but most people are understanding that, hey, it's the disease, it's not something that the person can necessarily help. But I don't think that Dr. Demento should probably continue running to run the whole country.
Do you think that he will actually step down? I think he's going to be the candidate. I think you said you also.
I think it's yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think that the people that could force it to happen are going to have the courage to do the right thing in this case. So I don't really generally have faith in anyone to do the right thing when it takes courage to do so. Most people don't. Yeah, they fall in line.
Yeah. I feel that press secretary lady, I don't like her at all.
She is the worst press secretary of all time.
Yeah, so I'm very happy that she's had a very hard job recently. I'm crying on the downfall.
Granted, press secretary is always a shitty job, and like people always kind of hate the press secretary.
She's just extra. She's extra.
Yeah, it's their job to kind of eat shit for the president and lie for the president. But yeah, she's just especially bad at it and unlikable. I know people used to give like Sean Spicer a lot of crap back in the day and everything, but yeah, she's just she's insufferable. It's tough to even watch.
Well, something that isn't insufferable is becoming a Cash Flow Kings channel member. Now, you may be wondering, how do we make such good graphics and designs? How do we do it? It's because we're motivated by the people, but sometimes we don't always have the motivation or the financing from the people, which is why we're announcing the Cash Flow Kings membership for only $190.9 a month at the lowest. You can, of course, go higher if you want. But
wow,
Fiscal, you may be wondering, what are some of the cool stuff that you get if you are a Cash Flow Kings member?
I am wondering, as a matter of fact.
Where's your $2 going every month? What could you do with $2, Fiscal?
With $2, you could definitely buy one energy drink. I know that for a fact.
Here comes the grift. Get ready for it. This is like 9 months in the making, so be ready. Well, Fiscal, I have some good news for you, because this is a lot of bang for your buck compared to a short-term dopamine rush. I heard short-term. We're no short-term investors here on this channel. You get it for an entire month, unlike that energy drink where you get for 2 hours. One, if you're a little jittery. But you have priority to topics and debates. Obviously, sometimes we have little hectic episodes where we can't get to everybody's comment, unfortunately. And as we only grow, this is going to be a continued problem. Unfortunately, we can't always get to your comments, so you're going to have priority to every comment you do, even the bad stuff that say some inappropriate words. We have to say it here on the Cash Flow Kings. Every comment, I know, every comment responded to, you get exclusive forbidden episodes. No comment on anything specific there, but you're going to get some more exclusive episodes. Hopefully we'll do some like exclusive interviews or whatever, have some people on the show.
Maybe members on the streams, perhaps at some point.
If there's enough, we'd have to have enough people that would like dedicate time. We'd all have to like schedule, but we'd definitely be open to doing that.
Would you be open to doing that to celebrate, say, 25 channel members?
I could say, I think I'd do 5 or 10,
Wow. All right. Well, that's an even better.
I'd do 5 or 10 as long as everybody makes it. That's all that matters. Participation's the best antidote, they say. Access to join the show. This is a good one. You can join the show anytime you want. Sometimes you can't obviously join the brink of the conversation, but if you have a question, we'll post the link every week into the members only thing. You get a merch discount to an all-time merch discount of 15%, and you guys will like the merch discount code, which only channel members have. And trust me, you will like it. You also get channel member logo, exclusive chat rooms, and emotes. I don't consider that like a crazy thing, but they do look pretty good. I hate to say so myself. And unlimited impersonation requests. This is probably going to be one of the biggest, boom for your buck things. But you guys saw with the $2 donation last week, the tactical shoe shiner impression. That was a pretty big hit. And let's just say I got a lot more in the bank, and I will be even more unfiltered as our money comes in from you guys, because it's what we'll only do it for. So that's why you guys got to become channel members. Also, buy the merch. If you don't want to spend the $2 or whatever, spend the $30 on this really nice pump cover. I'm benching 205 pounds now for 9 reps. That ain't a coincidence. Okay, that's not a coincidence. It's because I got the merch.
I've heard that the merch fits better if you have the 15% discount from being a channel member. Is that true?
It fits better. And they also do like custom embroilment. So like it actually adds to like hypertrophy and, back growth if you're doing a back day. There's also a chest day version too. For legal reasons, that's a joke. Double D's in the chat. There's nothing better. What do you say, Fiscal? There's nothing better when Double D's comes into a room.
It's true. Double D's usually make me smile. That's for sure.
Oh my God. Double D's had a funny comment earlier today. That's quote of the year candidate too. He'll be on for that.
It's true. That was a good one.
Crazy events, huh, guys? Sad stuff for the country, but happy to hear Trump is safe. Yeah, it's wild. Do you think, Fiscal, do you think it's going to divide or unite the country more? Because I heard some people say both. I think it's going to divide.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a shit show, to be 100% honest.
Do you think there would be a civil war if he actually got killed?
No.
That's a
no. Honestly, most people are too fat and lazy to do any kind of warfare. So no, I don't think. I mean, it might cause a Twitter civil war, but that's about it.
You know that guy Benny Johnson? Have you ever seen him on Twitter? He's like a far right Republican journalist. I don't even know if you call him a journalist, a figure, personality.
I probably have, but I try to ignore like Twitter politics is like it's the biggest cesspool in the entire planet.
The guy's just he's like a Muppet for Trump. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of sad. We'll get to that because I actually have a topic relating to Disney about that and misinformation. But yeah, what stock would Biden be if you can invest in? I'd say, yikes, get a good one. Rapid deterioration recently, specifically over the last 2 years. I think I have a name in mind.
Is it Walgreens?
Yes. Always been around since, doing really good, but recently it's just not hit the same.
That's great. Yeah. It's true. I mean, you could say Rite Aid because it's already bankrupt, but
he ain't out yet. No, hey, a super chat's a super chat, Fried Muffin. You know what to do. Did you not see the chats in the January 6th Capitol riot? What do you think's worse, the January 6th thing or today?
I think it's two different. Like, one thing was sort of like
we're trying to get these shorts going too, by the way.
One is sort of like mob mentality, like thing. There's sort of this contagion effect that happens in a big crowd of people. So that's a big crowd of people doing bad things because of like mob mentality. This is more of like a premeditated, type thing. So they're just completely different in terms of their scale and what the action actually is. I think they're hard to compare.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. I wonder if Trump's ETF will DJT. What even is that DJT? It's like the media company.
I think that's Truth Social. Isn't that their stock?
I would not invest in that. That does not seem like a.
No, they hemorrhage money, but they can always raise more by issuing stock, though.
They're on the AT&T phase.
They dilute a little bit.
They do dilute a little bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of, may or may not have bought high tide this week, Fiscal.
Really? May
May or may not have, but
You
you'll
have
have
to
to tune
find
in
out.
for the weekly recap, which is going to replace next week's show because I'm in Chi-Town and I won't have access to the internet that day, unfortunately. Bad timing, but the Cash Flow Kings goes on regardless.
Careful in Chicago, buddy.
I know. I'm going to O Block. I'll take a picture in front of the O Block, sign in the merch. If I die, I go out the way I want it to. Yeah. So on the topic, this actually relates back to finance, everybody. So I'll pull the tweet up. I tweeted something about it on my account, but essentially, you know how the sentiment has been with Disney recently, and like, they're going woke. We've covered that a lot.
Yeah, we have talked about that many times.
So basically, there's a new show called The Acolyte, which I think we've also talked about, which is a Star Wars show.
Star Wars, yep. Mm-hmm.
It's not that good, I'll be honest. It's very, Gen Z, kind of punky, a little fruity, one could say.
Did they put a chick in it and make her gay?
Put a chick in it, make it gay. Yeah, but it was definitely, it was rough. I'll be honest. I didn't watch it, but Disney's actually looking pretty good again. Inside Out 2 is a great success.
Great success. Very nice.
Yeah. So they're actually doing really good right now with Disney, but the sentiment always seems to be the issue. And obviously the union, we could talk about that if anybody wants to. So essentially I pulled this up on Twitter and there's something trending. It's like this skincare company and it's this really like corny video. And this guy, Benny Johnson, who was the Trump Muppet that what I was talking about, he essentially reposted it as a joke. That said, Disney Star Wars Acolyte rated team after celebrating the end of each workday.
Gen Z boss and a mini. Gen Z boss and a mini. Itty bitty titties and a bulb. Itty bitty titties and a bulb.
That's enough before all you guys leave the show. But essentially, it's this really corny. It's hard to watch. And it's clearly from a skincare company. You can see the Instagram handle, TBH Skincare. You go in the comments section, and people are legitimately thinking this is like the Star Wars writing team. They don't give a damn about the storyline or the fans. They only care about themselves because they're Democrats. 136K views, 4.2K likes. Here's another one. This is sad. So many writers with real talent overlooked. People are actually thinking that this is the actual like Acolyte writing team, and Disney could legit sue him for defamation. It's absolutely like,
yeah,
it's
the things people believe.
I don't know how he hasn't been like that. That's defamation. Like that's an easy case for Disney because he gave no disclaimer at all. Like it was obviously a joke, but it's 4.2 thousand people. That's a lot of likes on a post on Twitter.
Yeah, there are exceptions for satire though. So if you're clearly joking, then yeah, that's a defense for defamation. So yeah.
Unfortunately, but I thought it's just wild how that contributes to sentiment. But I would do that too. From what I know, they're like from Britain and they don't appear to have much of an HR kind of structure. So, yeah. Wow, John Judas, look at this. What's this based off of? Actually, Disney's been looking really appealing recently. It's at like 96, 97. I think I got bought 95 maybe, but I'm eyeing it down.
I was saying that under 100 they look kind of interesting. So maybe we could see some Disney in my future. Who knows?
If in a world where a certain company with four letters in the tickers gets into your portfolio that I did not imagine would ever be in your portfolio gets in, then I think Disney has plenty of room to be added.
You're talking about the one that is new.
Yeah, weekly recap for next week, everybody. Weekly recap for next week.
You got to watch the weekly recap.
Yeah. Yeah, but insane times. I think Disney's I honestly see them making a comeback. And I say this as somebody who's like shit on them the last few years for their content or whatever. Inside Out 2 is done as I think it's been the first blockbuster at the theaters at least since Barbie and Oppenheimer last year. They just released the new Captain America movie that actually looks really good because Giancarlo Esposito's in it. Harrison Ford's one of the I think he's the president in it. It actually looked good, and people are saying it looks good.
Harrison Ford has played. I think didn't he play the president in Air Force One? Get off my plane. You know.
I thought that guy didn't want to do any more movies. Money talks. I mean, money talks. But I was remembering like 10 years ago, he's like, I'm fucking done. I'm not doing this shit anymore. Stupid. He doesn't seem like a very pleasurable guy to be around with.
Yeah.
Unless you're close with him or boys with him. He just seems grumpy.
A little grouchy.
Yeah. Gotta respect it, though. Disney canceled a Conan the Barbarian movie. What's Conan the Barbarian?
That's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Really?
Yeah. Back in the 1980s, it was. They were the first big successful movies starring Arnold. He had done some bit stuff like Hercules in New York before that, but Conan is what really
embarrassing. I don't know that everybody. The Trent twins I know competed this weekend, but that's about it. Fabio loves the Acolyte. There you go. Fabio's, one could say he's a bit of the younger clientele. That's a demographic. But yeah, I mean, just you got to keep an open mind, Fiscal. What I may call a little fruity, maybe some other people's pie. So what other people may like.
It's true.
Got to respect it. Free cash flow is free cash flow. And if they're producing $8 billion free cash flow this year, almost, I mean, sign me up.
I mean, we do say cash flow is king on this show all the time. That's kind of our catchphrase.
Yeah. Disney's, did you see they have a workers union strike, I think, this week, sometime soon? I think that's another reason for part of the sell-off, but Dan mentioned it to me. I mean, automation's just going to take it over in 5 years, so they can talk all they want. Fiscal, you did like my tweet about the new Slim Shady album. Did you listen to it?
No, I haven't. I've been hearing tell that Slim Shady's coming back, but I haven't listened to it. So
what's actually interesting about it is he rather used AI or some sort of software to like make his voice sound like it was like actually Slim Shady from like 30 years ago. It's actually really interesting, and he's like the first artist to kind of do it and actually publish music with it.
That's proof AI is here, guys.
I know. This is the kind of good stuff that I like to see with AI. Disney, a better Nike investment on go off for real. Would you rather own Disney or Nike right now, Fiscal?
Disney.
I'm with you.
No question.
What's your stance on Nike? We talked about it a lot, but what's your very quick stance?
It's a shoe company, and I don't want shoes in my portfolio.
Real. I respect that. I may or may not. I'm not saying that. Yeah. I'm looking to see if there's any update on Trump right now. BB gun. People are saying it was a BB gun. There's no way.
No, I don't think it was.
No way.
A BB gun doesn't make the sounds that you heard in that video. Leaf. It's like Leaf said. It was multiple shots with small calibers. Is what it sounded like.
Elon Musk fully endorses Trump.
Yeah, I saw that.
How do you think that's going to impress Tesla? I'm going to look up if they're moving.
I think there'll definitely be a pump, probably.
After hours up 0.18%.
Yeah, I think on Monday there will be a pump.
Yeah. Wild times, Fiscal. Wild times. This is. I just didn't expect this.
Yeah,
I was thinking not that long ago too. Like, how has this guy not been like shot at or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, when with like all of when people get hyper emotional, that's when they get violent, and all the anger and arguing and stuff. Like, I am also kind of surprised that some kind of incident like this hasn't boiled to the surface sooner with all the hate that's out there. But I also know that security is pretty tight around presidential candidates and stuff. So
the security looked horrible. It was terrible. Like,
well, they do their best to make it not necessarily like visible and in your face, but like there is very
No,
good.
but when he was like going up, you weren't supposed to let him like hype the crowd up unless they knew that the shooters were down or whatever. But he's like, let me down, let me down. Have you seen that photo though yet of him raising his hand and the American flag in the back?
Yeah. I've seen the photo. Like
Old
I
photo.
was scrolling Twitter like just before the show, like rapidly, just to try to catch up on all the images and everything.
Yeah, it's
absolutely
that's
crazy.
crazy. That's insane.
What a time to be alive.
I know, what a time to be alive. I did put a poll and I want to see how it's doing. Who are you voting for now? And I bet a lot of people are gonna. Who do you think is gonna win the election?
Oh, I think there's no question that Trump's gonna win now.
That's what I'm saying now.
Yeah. I think like I'm going back in time and thinking like, okay, every time a major candidate gets shot at, let alone actually shot, it's people rally around. Like somebody mentioned like Teddy Roosevelt and
Reagan.
Heck, back in like you go back and even look at like how people view Kennedy. Like, and I know his result was a lot worse, but everybody like worships Kennedy as some kind of great hero now.
He was a pimp at the end of the day. You got to respect it, but yeah.
Yeah, game respects game. Like, I definitely, kind of, but certainly, he wasn't a perfect, wonderful, amazing person in every single aspect of his life, but people worship him like he was some kind of, amazing hero that never did anything wrong. And he made mistakes as president too, and not just the stuff in his personal life. The Bay of Pigs was an absolute disaster. The Cuban Missile Crisis potentially only became a crisis because of the level of inexperience and naivete that he brought to the office. So yeah, but if you hear tell from anybody that was around back when he got shot, he was such a hero. He was so great. Okay.
Playboy.
You get that bump. It raises your street cred. It's like presidents are like rappers. You get shot, it raises your street cred. Like look at Tupac. I mean,
yeah. When you when you get shot and then you get up and you hype up the crowd because the crowd was going insane. That was the best part of it. The crowd was going like nuts.
Yeah, the momentum is there. It's unstoppable.
Oh my goodness gracious! Look at this. Double D's is our first channel member.
Booyah!
Get on your hands and knees right now, Fiscal. We have to say our thanks to Double D's.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
So Dividend Dude, now that you're a channel member, you know the Red Fried Muffins comment. Just can't. So now that you're a channel member, you actually have access to all these amazing perks. You can join the show, you get merch discounts, you can unlimited impersonation requests, you get anything. It's a real investment, really. Dividend Dude's going to be the first customer. He's going to realize, why the cash flow kings are, top of the notch when it comes to storing your money. But thank you very much, Double D's. I may or may not be obligated to like an
honestly,
NPW shit.
I think if anybody should be the first channel member, I do think it should be him.
That's respect. That's wow. Here. I need to know what happened with Beater. Beater is picking fights with everybody. I've just been a little inactive recently, and I just see fucking Beater just beefing with everybody. Clownio, he's going after everybody in our dance. He's going after
except me. He says,
oh, yeah.
He always says my stock picks are all very good.
Beater doesn't go after me that much. I think he only got really mad over the Starbucks one, which is pretty ironic. Actually, actually that's ironic because he's a Democrat from what I know, but Starbucks pick he doesn't like. Maybe a little biased there, but that's okay. It's my Nike or Starbucks. What is? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I disagree. If you're investing for 2.5 years, maybe beater. I'm joking. Starbucks is Fiscal. Starbucks might be hitting deep value territory for you now. It's $72 again. Deep value. It can't possibly go to 75.
No, it can't possibly get any lower than it is now. Actually, I just released a Starbucks video right before this very episode.
Oh, I didn't.
Which I highly recommend
the
everybody
key
go watch.
takeaways. Don't spoil the entire thing. Some key takeaways.
Yeah. Key takeaways. I didn't reach any conclusions. I just said under a certain light, it could be viewed as cheap right now.
There you go. When do you think, I want to ask everyone in the comment section too, because I don't think Fabio didn't answer it last week, but when does Starbucks become more than a triple crossplay for some people? When does it become like the territory where it's like a really fun position? I think you said like 60.
Yeah, I think once it gets, I mean, granted, it may not ever get that low. It could, but it also could not. It's 50-50. But yeah, if it got that low and nothing worse happened than what happened like on the most recent earnings, like, then yeah, I'm gonna start kind of wondering, why is it this cheap? And if nothing major has gone wrong with it, yeah, pretty good value at that point.
They have earning. I think a reason some people are a little worried is because they have earnings in a month, August 5th, if I remember correctly. I'm a Starbucks cult leader. I know that. I know those kind of things, but I could see. Do you think they're more poised for recovery play or another depreciation kind of quarter when it comes to their? I think they're poised for a recovery quarter.
I think it's gonna depend on how their revenue does compared to comparable 2023 quarter. If they go back to revenue that's higher than comparable quarter prior year, then I think people will be like, oh, okay. But this last quarter when they dropped, other than during COVID-19, it looked to me like it was the first or only time during the last 5 years where they didn't beat the comparable quarter from the prior year. I could be wrong about that, but at a glance, that's what I was noticing. And I think that, considering that they're supposed to have all this growth in China, I think that worried people.
All right. I'm looking at the comment section right now, and Dividend Dude and Dan want to go at it. So I'm going to offer you two once in a lifetime opportunity on the spot. This is where real champions are made. At UFC 303 just a few weeks ago, Dan Ige stepped on the notice on a 3 hours notice. He woke up that morning. He didn't think he was fighting, but he still showed up and he put up a good performance. So I'm offering that opportunity to both of you two right now. If you want, me and Fiscal are planning on hopping off in 10 to 15, 20 minutes, depending on any questions you guys got. We could record an episode right after this for next week's show. We'll do a debate. We'll talk about Nike, Starbucks, anything your two little hearts desire. If you guys want to right now, let me know. If not, we'll do our weekly recap because that's still going to be a really good episode. I sold out of a bunch of stuff recently that I haven't shared. No company specifically. Got that out. But yeah. Had enough of Dividend Dude as a guest. He reminds me of Joe Biden, Mr. Dividend Dude, I don't see Starbucks dropping to 70. Is that a quote of the year candidate yet?
Whatever the
Starbucks 75
or whatever.
There's so many now that we're gonna have to actually dedicate an entire episode to that.
The joke from earlier in Discord's definitely got to be on the list.
If Commer became president, he might yield max to pay off the U.S. national debt. That's probably the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Thank you though very much, Dividend Dude. We appreciate that. Aircon and Emperor, acknowledge. Good times. Yeah, I'll give a little bit of a preview of what I did this week. I bought a lot of SHG. Now, Fiscal, I'm sure you're definitely not a fan of this because it's SHG and not SHV, which would be SH value. I don't know if that exists or whatever. But my thesis essentially with it, it's been proven over time. Studies have shown if you invest for the long term, it really doesn't matter what price you buy in at. And I like the returns. If you look historically, like if you were buying the S&P at all-time highs versus if you bought or if you just averaged in, it's only like a 1% return difference that you'd have if you bought at lows or whatever. So what are your thoughts on me just building up the SHG position to about like a 15% weighting of the portfolio?
Well, I don't really like those SCHD, SCHG ETFs at all. So I hard disagree. I think you could do better with your own picks.
At least it's not MPW. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. Dividend dude probably wanted me to do it. He's all hyped up right now.
I'm just saying, like, I think if you're gonna
Where's Lincoln? Get Lincoln in here.
If you're gonna do an ETF, do an index. If you're gonna try to pick and choose, do individual stocks. That's just the way I see the world.
Yeah, I'm moving away from the picking and choosing these days. I'm more of a, and then I'll just buy VU in the Roth. That's probably the plan for now. Once that first Cash Flow Kings payment comes in,
you're not going to be like strongman and just VT and chill. You're gonna go VU.
I'll go with VU. VU's fucking the man, you know. Can't complain. We recently had a burglary around the a couple doors down. We had some how do I say this without getting canceled? Some people from the west side of town that came in overnight.
Urban youths.
Some urban youth. Other names could describe them if your name's Rob from the Discord, not to name anybody's names. But yeah, crazy stuff going down. I could be camping outside of the house tonight and saying, "Get off my land, motherfucker!" You know, I kind of want to do that. That'd be a good. But apparently they were kids. It's not good times, everybody. Not good times. It's summertime. People are going crazy. Trump got shot at. Cash Flow Kings just got monetized. Stuff can go down.
It's very true. Stuff can indeed go down.
Lump sum has better math than DCA. Yeah, what happened investment-wise this week? I don't remember. I know earnings are actually picking up again. Restaurants are getting smoked.
So crazy. Actually, it was crazy this week. So in my own portfolio, I noticed a lot of value stocks went up towards the.
I noticed that Altria is
Altria is
disgusting,
screaming right now. I mean, as much as Altria will scream, it's very low volatility, so it's not 10xing or anything. But when you look at the year to date, where it's gone, plus if you add the dividend on top, it's not doing too bad. It's pretty decent. I'll take it.
Yeah.
BTI had a bit of a run. Like Chinese stocks were kind of zooming. Baba, some other ones that I keep track of were going up. Not ones that I own anymore, but ones that I look at.
Starbucks didn't go up for China.
I think PayPal had like a little mini rally, but it's like just still hovering kind of around that $60-ish area. So nothing too exciting with that. MPW kind of popped a little bit this week. No, like real.
MPW is a cigar butt again though, because it's down.
Yeah, it's true. But I think Drip Day probably helped. Gosh, yeah, it was kind of a weird week. Gained a little bit on Grab, I think, or at least on Friday I did, but it was like 1% or something.
Whoa, Paul, absolute channel legend Paul Summerhalder is in the chat. From last week, the High Tide Roundtable. Good times.
Oh, geez, what else?
Welcome back, Paul. Good to see you here.
Comcast had a little bit of a pop on Friday. Oh, Palantir broke $28.
Ooh.
That's always good.
Oh, I made a video. What do you think the most cult-like stocks are?
The most cult-like stocks?
Yeah. MPW.
So Tesla, Palantir, NVIDIA, AMD, I mean, you could say MPW, but like that following is much, much smaller in comparison. Apple, I guess a little bit. There's definitely some cultishness with Apple. Clove, CLOV, actually, they're up a lot recently. They were down at 66 cents recently, and they're at $1.54 right now. It's one of my smaller positions, but you like to see it. If only I had gone deep when it was 66 cents, I would have.
It's so stupid. I'm like, I'm in that situation with so many companies randomly, like dabbled and bought like 2 shares. You know, Texas Roadhouse, TKO, and now I'm up like 60% on the holdings. We got my core ones, you know.
So
core ones are all struggling.
So Paramount looks like they are merging with Skydance, and Class B will have an opportunity to sell at $15 a share. So that's not it's if you've seen Chernobyl, it's not great, not terrible. Like it could be worse. We could be sitting here with Sherry Redstone still in charge, going nowhere. But alternatively, we could have had them sell to one of those companies offering like $21 for Class B shares instead and getting a really good return. But instead, we're getting what we're getting. Or you could alternatively stay with the quote unquote new Paramount and hope that David Ellison runs it better than Sherry Redstone did. But they get 70% and the Paramount investors get 30%. So yeah, it seems like Paramount is getting kind of shafted and Skydance is getting a great deal. But again, it's still a positive return for Class B Paramount shareholders. So if you got in closer to today's price, if you bought at like $30 the way Berkshire did, then you're getting smoked, unfortunately.
All right, everybody. We'll give you guys 5-minute warning here. If you have any last questions, comments, concerns, and if we get one more channel member tonight, we already have Double D's that signed up. But if we get one more in the chat, who should I do an impression? I'll do a Commer impression. I'll do a 1 to 2 minute Commer impression.
You have to do Commer as president giving his plan to pay off the national debt with Tesla.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So if that happens, guys, I'm just saying, if somebody becomes a channel member right now, only $1.99 a month, very good perks, benefits, unlimited impersonations, exclusive discounts, yada yada yada, access to join the show. Good times here on the Cash Flow Kings. One more channel member, we need it, guys. We do it. I will do my Commer president impression. If not, we'll never be heard, and we'll upload it to YouTube. So. But any last comments, questions, concerns? There we go. We got world's nicest man in the chat, Steve. Good to see. My worst investment. It's only worse if you.
So, Steve, what'd you pay for the stock? Just out of curiosity. Probably over $20 if it's his worst investment.
Oh my God, Andrew! If you had to give your money to one YouTuber, not Fabio, to invest, who would it be?
That's a great question.
Maybe.
Andrew,
what's the context here? Is it for Is it for a normal person, retirement, trading in and out of
probably
stock?
just to get you the best return, let's say.
Strongman.
He
just buy VT or
he just buy VT. Yeah,
that's
you know what he's gonna do with it. Yeah, that's true.
I can trust it.
He's the safest choice.
Paul,
I would obviously Stockmo.
What do you? Graham Stephan, obviously. Actually, Graham would probably buy.
He just buys SPY.
Up to you, best return. Yeah, probably.
I'd give it to Caleb Hammer so he could put it in a high yield SoFi account.
Caleb Hammer definitely won't be using some of that commission money if you have to pay him to go hit the gym, but that's another topic.
Oh man, I dear Caleb Hammer, pay me some of your SoFi sponsorship money to be your personal trainer. You need it.
Fiscal will be flown out. He'll live with you. Accountability coach.
I'll get you on. I'll hook you up. I'll find you a good TRT doctor. We'll get you all sorted out.
I think Caleb is, I don't advocate for steroids here on the Cash Flow Kings unless you super chat or super thanks and tell me to say it. But,
we'll do it. We'll do like a 90-day transformation of people. Greg Doucette can do a natty or not on him. It'll be amazing.
I said his first year to beat Warren to the game. Ugh. You know, Steve, good humility. We appreciate the transparency here. Some people can't do that for some reason. Not going to name anybody in specific, but Jeremy hasn't, not to name names.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tech also dropped. I bought some SCG when Tech dropped. I mean, it's a little dip, yay. But yeah, Fiscal, if I would have asked you about SHG when I first bought it 5-6 months ago, would you have said the same thing that you just said now?
Probably.
Fair. I have like a good return since then.
I have a certain I guess stance when it comes to ETFs and individual stock picking, and I think ETFs where you're trying to pick them because they have some kind of special strategy and you're not just using them for index investing, I think that's generally not a great way to use ETFs. Like, you might as well be buying ARK if you want a stock picking ETF, right? That's kind of how I view them. But I do think ETFs like VT, VOO, and other index tracking ETFs, I think those are good for people who want diversification and just to get a market return. But if you want to beat the market, don't try to do it with an ETF.
I think SHG is, I mean, they invest in, I think if you're going to beat it, you do it with that one because it's consistently beat it for the last 10 since inception, pretty much. Obviously, past performance is not indicative of future, but I still think that some of the metrics that are in place for the standards for growth or whatever, and the other metrics they have to have for the companies and weighting and all of that, I think that's a pretty good recipe for success.
I think you'll get a return and you'll be fine. I don't think it's going to hurt you financially. It sort of violates every sort of philosophy that I have about investing, I think. So
this is coming from the same person who invested in Walgreens, everybody in the chat, just to make sure, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we all have our demons. He had Walgreens, I had Tattooed Chef. I don't know if you can go much lower than that. So
at least Walgreens was a successful, well, I mean, depending on how you measure it, you could still argue it's a successful business, as they do still have 8,000 stores or something. But certainly it wasn't good to my wallet. So there you go.
You got to learn somehow. I think my worst.
At least they're not bankrupt yet.
Yeah. 3M was pretty rough for me. Realty Income is not that good either.
Yeah.
There we go. Channel member Double D used this biggest critic of the Walgreens investment. All right, everybody.
Well, there were a lot of critics of. You would bring it up every time you disagree with me about something in order to try to win the argument by default.
Hey, that's a channel member. You can't talk to him like that. Be quiet, Fiscal. Back in the dungeon. Back, boy. All right, everybody. If you guys haven't already smashed the like button for us, it actually helps out the channel a whole ton. Maybe we'll get Twitter Premium. If it's the $2 one, I'll probably do it. So we can stream there, because we're losing out on 20, 30, 40 viewers right now, which sucks. Elon, what are you doing? Would the Cash Flow Kings want to bring
engagement to your platform, Elon?
We got to record next week's episode, Double D's. We got to record next week's right now, because I'm using our channel membership money to go to Starbucks Reserve in Chicago next week.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know if I'm meeting up with Cody or us. I probably won't, because I don't think I have a lot of time.
You should try to get to Illinois sometime when I'm there visiting family.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a lot of traveling in the next few years, so.
Me too.
We'll work on it. Look, the Cash Flow Kings International. What else? Something else happened that I can't say on the show. I think some people might know what it is. I sent it to our group chat yesterday. On Discord. But yeah, everybody, last chance. If somebody wants to become a channel member, now's the time, because you'll get your Commerce President impression, which I already have loaded up. I have the entire dialogue all preloaded in my head. And Fiscal will play the questioner too. He'll be the media.
President Commerce. How do you plan to address the $34 trillion?
You're being very rude right now. You're being very rude. Sit down. Yeah.
Am I banned?
I'll even talk. Get out of here. You're banned. You're not gonna come in here be respectful. Banned.
Am I not very smart at all?
You're not very. Yeah. I'll go off on it, everybody. This is where good money goes to good use.
I was trying to get it for you guys for free, but he's holding it in until we get that.
Castle Kings are not a profitable operation right now. We're transparency here. We're about probably a couple hundred in the shitter right now. So we do need.
We're actually a Geno deep at least.
Okay, not good.
As far as what I've had to put out, yeah.
Yeah, and we have to buy the StreamYard too. And if Twitter Premium goes through,
and I am factoring that into that figure as well.
Okay.
But then again, part of that factors into what I loaded into our checking account, which we haven't really spent money out of yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're probably like actually 400 or 500 like actually spent. But
okay,
we have a little bit.
We'll say Geno. We'll say Geno.
Yeah,
it looks a lot better. I'll give everybody one more minute to hop out of here. While they're at it though, if anybody wants to check out the merch, shameless plug here, but it looks really good. Buy a Make Cash Flow King Again hat. Very fitting day to do that. I don't think many people call it a MAGA hat. I don't know if people are distracted as that. Good pump covers, making people wealthy. If you own that stock, everybody was getting into it this week on the Discord. I was actually pretty shocked. Yeah, I saw Leaf was getting into it. Poor Leaf. Everybody was getting into it. It's bad when I'm getting messages from separate people complaining. So apologize for that, everybody. Got to get these episodes longer for some segments to know what. Got to get these episodes longer with some segments that people know to expect every week. I mean, we do have the ROTW segment, but I don't think we have any. Do we have any rebards of the week, Fiscal, this week? Do you have anything crazy that stood out to you?
I heard that there was an interesting live stream this morning.
Do I gotta play the clip?
No. I'm referring to
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I think it was Fabio's live stream actually. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But
all right.
We about to wrap it up.
We'll wrap it up, but I'm here. If you have anything more to say, I'm here.
Well,
yeah, I know. I think I know this guy. It's
there's some guy stole some thumbnails. Yeah. He may not be he may or may not be psychic. I've heard rumors.
Try to be careful. Don't cross the boss, as one said. Don't cross the boss.
If he sends somebody to take me out, I'll
yeah.
I'll get right up and I'll just, I'll rile the crowd up. Don't worry.
Bench videos soon.
Ooh.
I said for the other channel, I do it at 100 subscribers, but if you become a channel member, I'll do it.
You got to do the Kamar.
I'll do it on the Cash Flow Kings too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the bench is going up, everybody. I'm eating like a dog. I'm gonna have some ice cream after we record the next weekly recap. Some cheese.
So yeah, I do wanna just say, my grill is put together.
Oh,
I've been mainly just grilled a big batch of burgers, like 3 pounds worth of burgers.
Oh, we were cutting.
It's 88.12.
Oh, it's fair. That's fair.
So it's not like super fatty beef. And they're slider size, so they're not like gigantic burgers. And I actually just bought some USDA Prime top sirloin.
I'll be over.
I'm gonna probably have that for dinner, and yeah, it's going well. I think. And by the way, that is cut food for me. Like I have to eat a lot to gain weight at the weight I am now. So
nobody likes a bragger.
Yeah, I'm gonna gradually get leaner and leaner on what I eat. But like my breakfast is 3 over medium eggs and 2 pieces of toast. Like it's not very huge, and then
nothing to write the man about,
Yeah, grill the lunch and the dinner. It's good. And I got the chin up bar in my
Oh.
doorway over here.
Wow, it's
So
really a crib.
yeah. Yep. And yeah, man, I'm gonna get the biceps up. I'm gonna get the shoulders up, and I'm gonna get the body fat percentage down.
Oh, I do have a good story for everybody while we're here still. This is interesting story. So, as you guys all know, I'm heading off to college. So, what you typically do, so it's a good time to, maybe potentially meet some new people. Everybody's looking for, new acquaintances, right? Fiscal. And,
Absolutely.
why not give myself a little bit of entertainment this week? So, I decided the colleges now on Instagram do like the class bios thing. So, it's 2028 class bio for yada yada college. So, I decided to put the one that I'm transferring to on there. And I just did, hello, I'm Ryan. I like finance. I like lifting. Feel free to reach out. I'm looking to meet new people, right? So I did it. And this is actually wild. So on Instagram, this attractive Russian girl adds me. I accept the follow request. I don't remember if I followed back. And likes all of my posts and comments cute. So I'm like, all right, time to cook.
All right, we're in.
But I was very speculative, and here's why. But it was a scam at the end of the day. Hate to break the story short.
It always is when it's
unfortunately.
On Instagram. Yeah.
But you know how maybe a Russian person or somebody from out of country may be a little more aggressive when it comes to sharing their feelings about somebody. You know what I mean?
Yes, I've experienced this many times.
That's what I'm saying. So essentially, I go on. It direct messages me. So before I start cooking here, before I go deep in, I got to know if it's a scam. And I'm really good when it comes to this, but I have to be honest, it was really hard to tell with this one. But some of the key indicators that I looked for. First of all, you have to look for, I looked at all the posts and you look in the comment section and it's like a bunch of old like sugar daddies, respect to you, Fiscal, not people like you, but like
ones that actually look old.
Yeah, ones that like actually look old, creepy old.
The ones that look like Tactical Shoe Shiner.
Yeah, Tactical Shoe Shiner kind of. Come here, baby. Give me a 50.
He's got a hot dog for her.
Yeah, quite literally, probably. But yeah, so essentially, it was a scam. I figured out because it was following like multiple accounts of the 2028 thing, but it was like actually like dangerously realistic. Like the account, and I'm actually pretty smart when it comes to that kind of stuff, but wild stuff, crazy scams. But I'm sure. The thing I forgot to include. This is like the actually crazy part. I asked up front. I'm like, send a video of you, holding 3 fingers up to the camera or whatever.
Oh, you could have asked for something a little more interesting.
I know, but maybe it already had that. See, 3 fingers, very specific. Mm-hmm. So with the 3, so it was like an actual like video with a girl that was just like, it was not very clearly 3 fingers. It was like that or something, and that was just weird. Like, so now there was like the 1% of me that feels like an absolute dick if I just was like a complete asshole to this foreign person that was trying to meet new people. But no, it was obviously a scam. So interesting times here. AI is taking over everybody. Scary stuff. I vote fiscal philosophy to run to president. Lincoln, you missed the SHG debate earlier. Thank you all for.
I am old enough, as everybody likes.
I'll be the VP. Can I be the VP?
No. I think to be VP, you do have to meet all of the minimum requirements to be president because you're one heartbeat away.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, we're going to hop out of here, record the weekly recap / episode for next week. We will be talking about whether Trump or Biden which one we think will impact the stock market more, even though none of them really do. Spoiler. But yeah, check out the merch. Become a channel member. Give us all your money. Give us 10% of your budget. That's the goal for us at the end of the day.
If we're a cult, you have to give us 10%. That's the minimum tithe.
That's right. Thank you all for watching. Smash like and subscribe. Do dividend stocks, not drugs. And of course, remember, cash flow is king.